Hello, I'm Simon. Welcome to my workshop. In this video, part of the workshop organisation series, I'm going to be building a storage solution for my squares. Let's get tinkering. I currently store my squares on these brackets, which are two pieces of wood with a spacer in between. They're a little bit awkward to use, and some of them are a bit precarious. And I don't have space for my speed square either. So I'm going to rectify all these problems with a new storage solution. I have this second-hand board. It's flat and straight and has no twists, but it does have a very large crack down the centre. Now this distance here is going to be enough for this project, so I'm going to use up this board. I first clean up the end with a miter saw. Then using a stop block I start cutting out equal lengths. I'm not measuring anything, the stop block will ensure they're all the same length. I swapped out the Evolution multi-material blade a while back for a Saxon 80 tooth blade. This gives a much cleaner cut. Miter saws aren't the best at dust collection, but I suspect the Evolution saw could be the worst. Most of the boards had split in half due to the crack in the wood, so I now use a stop block on the other side of the blade to rip the boards to the same width. I now set the miter saw to a 45-degree cut, set up a stop block to ensure each is the same, and cut all the parts in half, leaving me with 10 triangles. So this is what I'm thinking. I'll use the remainder of the board, the half that didn't have the split in, as the backboard, and the gaps between the boards are such that I can get my thickest speed square through, and it'll be plenty big enough for all the other squares. It does mean that they might rattle a little bit, but it should also make them go in a lot easier, which will be nice. Still got quite a bit to do, but I'm sort of thinking I'll set it up like this, glue it, and then I'll chop the end off so it's the right length. The parts all need sanding to remove the sharp edges, so I move to the bench sander and round off each edge. Before gluing the brackets to the backboard, I sand it down to remove the varnish. I then clamp a scrap of wood to act as a guide for the top of the brackets and glue the first bracket in place, and continue this approach for the rest of the brackets. I didn't want to rely on the glue, especially as it hadn't been clamped, so after a couple of hours drying time I piloted some holes ready for screws to add some mechanical strength. I could have made these holes before gluing the brackets and used the screws to clamp the pieces in place while the glue dried, but I did it this way so that I had no measuring to do. Now that everything is fixed firm, I can trim off the end to make it look tidy. And after a little sanding I start painting the piece, using a water-based exterior satin. This paint doesn't require an undercoat and it's very hard wearing. There were a couple of bits I couldn't quite reach, so I used one of my wife's art brushes, cleaning it and putting it back before she noticed. All that was left was to pilot the holes for fixing the bracket to the wall. It's quite heavy, so I used 4 screws to fix it in place. The new holder takes up a lot less room, leaving me more space on my tool wall for more tools. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. I've now got some nice storage for my squares with some additional capacity for future growth. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, then please subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, why not subscribe by clicking my logo? It's free, and YouTube will add some of my videos to your feed. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.